Hi, Joanne.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's great to
Good.
finally meet you in person.
Yeah.
We've been connected on LinkedIn for a while.
Yep.
So I remember a while ago posting a video about some abuse that was going on in a Michigan nursing home. And
Yeah.
I was really surprised when you sent me a note saying that you used to work there.
Yeah. Yep. I was the activity director there for a little bit.
So were you surprised when you saw that video?
Not really. No. I mean, I worked 6 years in nursing homes, 3 years for that company. And I found, I mean, really, pretty much any place I worked in, I found that the care was just not where it needed to be. And there was a lot of CNAs that worked there that should not be there. And really, I mean, it doesn't just stop with nursing homes. It stops, I mean, it's in assisted living, it's in home care, it's every place that I've ever worked. And that's actually why I started my company, is because I saw the way that our elders were being treated, and not just not well, but also like with a lot of neglect and abuse.
So that was the impetus for starting Memory Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me, I had been fighting with every place I ever worked, basically, to get the care to be in a better place. And um, people don't really like it when you don't like what they're doing. And so I got a lot of flack from that. I got fired a few times. Um, and I got told I was too sensitive and all kinds of other things. And to me, it was just like, I couldn't go to work and see the kind of care that was there, or know like how short they were going to be when I left, and feel like that was going to be okay when I left and just go home and sleep okay. I was just, it hurt my heart so bad. I knew that these elders that were helpless, oftentimes having no family visiting them, so they had no one to advocate for them, that they were being treated like that, either with neglect or abuse or both, or even at the very least getting their basic needs met but having no quality of life.
That must have been really hard.
Yeah, it was hard. And I think, I'm an incredibly passionate person, and I've always fought injustice ever since I was little. My mom told me, I used to say, like, Mom, I want to help the poor people. Like, my parents are pastors, and I've done tons of missions trips ever since when I was 12. I went on my first one. And I've always fought the injustice in the world. And my first job in a nursing home, I saw it with our elders, and just fell in love with them and said, like, this is what I need to do, and totally changed my major into recreational therapy and changed my life's work, basically.
Wow. So you started by founding a home care
Yep.
service.
Yep. It was a home care service specializing in memory care. We went in people's homes, and also a lot of times in facilities. And what we found a lot of times was, when we went into facilities, what would happen is, a lot of memory care places were really not memory care places and not appropriate for people with memory loss, because of their lack of staffing and their staffing ratios that they had there. A lot of times staffing ratios, they would say maybe 1 to 6, but oftentimes it was more like 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to 20. And imagine one person, even a really well-trained, very caring and kind person, trying to handle that many people. There's just no way in the world you can possibly do that.
So what happened then was you decided to do it yourself.
Basically, that's what I did with my home care, and that's what I did with this. So I just went home to my husband and I said, honey, this is not right. Like, there's people that cannot afford home care, or it's not appropriate for them because they can't live in their homes, or whatever the situation is, and they're moving, and it was actually some people that we had in home care that would move into a facility, and then we would end up coming back to them because they had had like 10 falls or whatever the situation might be. And or the facility was like, well, we can't handle them anymore with their behavior, so we would go back, and the family would end up paying not just for the facility costs, which are upwards of six, seven, $10,000, but also for 24/7 home care, which is like an ungodly price to have to pay. um, and so I said, we have to do something different. And I had known about a lady that had opened something similar. It's kind of like the greenhouse model. It's not their model. We didn't go through their training, and we don't have their certification or anything, but something sort of like that. Basically, a staffing ratio of 1 to 3 is what I felt was appropriate. So there's 6 private rooms, and there's 3 staff whenever there's 1 staff person to 3. Occasionally on midnights, it might be 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. But I live 10 minutes away from here, so if they need me, I can be here anytime. I took a house that was 4 bedrooms and redid the house, redid all the bathrooms, and then we took the garage and made it into 2 more bedrooms, basically. So it was really a labor of love. I took months to make the curtains myself and pick out all the pictures and all the dishes and make sure that anyone that wanted to come in, basically anyone that walks in the house goes, well, I want to live here. Not even just someone with dementia, but anyone that walks in.
So how long is since the first home opened?
It's 2.5 years. Yeah, since the one I'm in right now. We have our basement now. Our office now is in the basement here at the first home. And then in August of last year, we decided to end the home care and just focus solely on the homes, really to be able to do things with excellence and make sure that I'm here more and I'm available, and that really doing what we set out to do by making sure that we have the right staff and the right amount of training, and the way that we can support our staff and love on them and value them for the job that they do, and make sure that they're able to love and value our residents. And that's when
Okay.
we opened our second home, which is actually only a mile down the street from this one.
All right. And so what
Mhm.
kind of training do you give to people,
So
the
when they
workers?
Yeah, so when they start, I created a training, and the first part is basically all about our policies and procedures and our values. So as a company, we have a very strong set of values that I would say when I train 50-50, like 50% on values and commitments to those values, and 50% on dementia care and how to work with people. Because I feel like if you have honesty and integrity and innovation and excellence and fun at work, then you're not going to show up late or not take initiative or be lazy or take improper care of residents. So I feel like the foundation is really important, and that's how we hire as well. We hire for character and train for skill. So most of our caregivers, I would say out of 25 caregivers we have right now, 2 of them have done care before, and the rest have never done care before. Um, and a lot of them are students going into nursing, OT, healthcare administration, or we have a couple going for their master's degrees. And then we have,
Hang on 1 second.
okay.
My clock's chiming.
Oh, okay.
It's going to come across and it's 11, so it's a lot of chimes, or 12 rather.
11 times.
12 chimes it's going to be.
Okay.
So you were saying they were in nursing and occupational
Yeah. A
therapy.
lot of our people are students, either for their bachelor's or master's degree, and then we have a couple that are a little bit older that are kind of in their second careers, sort of, and maybe have always wanted to do something with care but never really had an opportunity to do it.
Right.
And that's really what we've found to be the best. I find that when I hire people that are in the industry, that are CNAs or home health aides or caregivers that have worked for other people, they really don't work here. They maybe say that they want something better than what they have, because a lot of places they're mistreated and not paid well, not given the hours they need, made to stay over for hours and hours and hours, mandated, which we don't do that here. But then when they come here and they see the expectations, they just can't fulfill them, such as being on time for work and showing up for work and showing initiative and providing proper care for residents, not just, rushing through it, but taking time and talking with them while you're doing it and that kind of stuff.
And what kind of feedback have you had from residents and from family members?
Well, I post a lot of people. A lot of people on our website go on and do Google reviews, but family members tell us, "Oh, I wish we would have found you sooner." I had this one family member last month tell my doctor actually, or my nurse practitioner, I would pay double to have my mom in here. Um, they say you're an angel to us. We could have never done this without you. They say, like, we will always tell people about you anywhere we go. We're your advocate forever, basically. We can never repay the care that you guys have done or what you've done for my mom. That kind of stuff. That is the feedback that we get. So it's
That
pretty
must,
amazing.
yeah, that must make you feel really great.
It does, yeah. I mean, it's those times when we go, okay, yep, we did what we were supposed to do. And, our residents live here until their very last breath. And we had 3 pass away last month, and it was extremely difficult to lose people that you have been here for over a year, year and a half. And basically, it's like losing a family member. You're losing a family member and walking through that whole process. I handle everything with their life as well as everything with their death. And calling the family and staying here for when the funeral home arrives and everything. And it's a beautiful thing to me that they can live here until their very, very last breath, because this becomes their home and we become their family. And they're with their family, us, and sometimes their regular family until their very last breath here. And it's really an incredible thing.